Welcome to ClockInMaster. In this guide, Staff App. Everything the app on your phone does in one go. This is the ClockInMaster app on your own phone, and it is worth being clear about what it is for. It is not where you clock in. That is the tablet on the wall. And in most shops, it stays that way on purpose, because a clock you can press from the bus is not much of a clock. This is for everything else. Your hours, your rota, asking for time off, getting a wrong clock time put right. All the things that used to mean catching your manager at a bad moment, or a text message at 10:30 at night that neither of you can find a week later. Home is a summary of today. Your name, the shop you are currently looking at, and how many shops you have access to, because plenty of people work at more than one. And everything below this line belongs to whichever one is named up there. Under that, today's shift if you have one, and your work duration once the day is underway. Then, alerts, which is the part worth actually reading. A day you did not clock out of, requests waiting on your manager, anything that needs you. Each one is a shortcut. Tap it, and you land on the screen that fixes it, rather than having to go looking. Reports is your own timesheet, one day at a time. Step back with the arrows or tap the date to jump. For each day, you get the total you worked and every session inside it. When you clocked in, when you clocked out, and any breaks, with paid breaks marked separately because they are counted differently. This is the same data your manager sees. There is no second version of your hours held somewhere you cannot look at, and that is the single most useful thing about having this on your phone. You can check before payday rather than argue after it. One day at a time is fine for checking something specific, but for a week or a month, there is date range at the top. Pick a start and an end, and you get the total across the whole period, with each day listed underneath, showing your first clock in and your last clock out. Tap any day to open it up. This is the view to use before a payslip lands, or when you are trying to work out whether last month really was as heavy as it felt. Sometimes, a day is simply wrong. You forgot to clock out, or the tablet is busy and you clocked in 20 minutes after you actually started. On any past day, each session offers a time change request. It shows the time that was recorded next to the time you are asking for. You say why in one line, and you send it. You are not editing your own timesheet, and you cannot. You are asking, and your manager sees both numbers when they decide. There is a separate video that walks through the whole thing end to end. Everything you have asked for lives under time change, filtered by month and by where it has got to. Pending, approved, or declined. Each one shows the original type next to the requested time and the reason you gave. While it is still pending, you can edit it if you got the time wrong, or cancel it outright. Once your manager approves it, your timesheet is corrected, and the hours and the wage for that day are worked out again from the new times. Weekly rota opens on you. Swipe between weeks or use the calendar to jump. Each day shows the shift you are on, or that you are not on one, and a pending shift shows as pending until somebody answers it. There is a summary at the top telling you how many shifts you have that week. If you have marked yourself unavailable on a day, it is flagged, so you can see at a glance whether what has been scheduled matches what you told them. On a day you are not working, there is an add button, and it lists the shifts your shop actually runs on that weekday. Not a blank form where you invent a time, but the real templates your manager set up. Pick one and request it. It goes into their queue as pending, and you get told what they answer. If nothing is listed, nobody has set up shift templates for that day yet, and that is a conversation rather than something you can fix here. Anything still pending, you can take back yourself. The button turns into cancel, and withdrawing something nobody has answered yet costs nothing. A shift already approved and on your rota is a different matter. That one says drop, and the app warns you plainly. The shift goes back out as open, and every eligible person gets notified. That is not a reason never to do it, but it is a reason to do it early and to expect somebody to ask why. The Everyone tab is the same week for the whole shop, a grid of names down the side and days across the top, showing who is on when and who is off. It is read-only. You cannot change anybody else's rota from here, including your own. What it is for is the ordinary question of whether there is somebody to swap with, or who is on with you on Saturday, without having to ask anyone. Time off is filtered by month and by status. Add a request and you choose the kind: unpaid, paid, or paid sick. Then pick your dates. You can select several days that are not next to each other in one request, and any date that already has a request on it is grayed out, so you cannot ask twice by accident. Add a comment if there is anything worth saying. While it is pending, you can delete it. Once it is answered, you cannot, and that is deliberate, because an approved day off is something the rota has already been built around. Analytics is your working week in numbers. This week against last week, your average clock in and clock out times, a trend line of hours, and a heat map of when you actually worked. None of it is anybody else's data. It is yours. It is more useful than it sounds if you're trying to make a case. Turning up 10 minutes early every day for a month is invisible in conversation and obvious on a chart. Labor cost shows the wage rates assigned to you and how they stack up. A base rate and any session rates that apply to particular shifts, marked as primary, secondary, or fallback, so you can see which one wins. It is read-only. You cannot change a rate here, and neither can anybody else without it showing. What it gives you is the ability to check that the rate being applied is the one you were told about. Tasks are checklists your manager assigns: opening checks, temperature readings, closing down, split into what is outstanding and what is done, and they save as you fill them in. Beyond that, Settings has a 24-hour clock toggle if you prefer times that way. Profile holds your details and your clock-in pin behind an eye icon, and Help and Training is a shelf of short videos like this one. There is also a chat button on Home that opens a conversation with your whole shop. Worth knowing it is there, and worth remembering everybody can see it. So, 3 screens, 1 set of numbers. The tablet by the door is the clock. It records what is happening right now, and it is the only one that does. This app is for everything that is not right now: checking, asking, planning. And the web dashboard is where whoever runs the place builds the rota, answers what you send, and turns all of it into wages. Nothing gets typed twice, and nothing quietly changes in between. If something on your phone looks wrong, it is wrong at the source too, which is exactly why it is worth saying so on the day. That is it. Download the app now from the Play Store or App Store and take control of your business.